I would have never thought that 50 Shades of Grey would give me the input to talk about what I personally consider to be one of the most underrated books. Hello everyone, I'm Irene Ritarelli, writer, blogger and passionate reader, and this is Into the Books. Yes, you heard me right. In the first book of this famous series by E.L. James, Anna, the female protagonist, is studying English literature at the university. I mention this not because I want to talk about that book, no, but because she chose literature thanks to Thomas Hardy's most famous novel, Tess of D'Urberville, which unfortunately has not been sufficiently appreciated by critics and the public outside the academic world. Are you ready to find out why I say this? If so, keep listening to today's episode. The first character we meet is John Dubfield, Tess's father, a slacker, who prefers to spend his time and the little money he has in the pub, rather than getting a steady job and providing for his large family. One day, on his way home after another day of doing nothing, he encounters the parish priest. It is the priest who tells John about his family's glorious past. This news shocks and excites him, but not only him. When he tells John, his wife, the great news, she begins to think about how they can profit from it. The perfect opportunity presents itself when one day, while Tess and her younger brother are on their way to a nearby town to sell their beehives at the local market, Tess accidentally kills their horse, their only source of livelihood. Moved by remorse, Tess reluctantly accepts her mother's suggestion. In the neighboring town lives a family named D'Urberville, who in John's mind must become their relatives. So who better than Tess, who is beautiful and intelligent, to go there and ask for their help? As soon as Alec D'Urberville sees this innocent young woman on his doorstep, he decides that she must be his. So of course he agrees to help her, while at the same time Tess's instincts are screaming at her to run far away. If only she had listened. Alec literally ruins Tess's life. He takes advantage of her, gets her pregnant, doesn't marry her, and as a result of all of this, her reputation is ruined. To top it all off, this is not the worst she has to go through. More tragedies await our poor Tess. Heartbroken and heavy-hearted, Tess accepts a job in another county. At first, this seems to be the turning point she's looking for. There, she begins to heal her deep wounds. She smiles more, her face lights up her youth again, and most importantly, she falls in love. When she starts to believe that due to the fact that her virtue has been blemished, no one won't marry her, Angel enters her life, or rather, they meet again. Their path had crossed a few years earlier when they meet at the spring festival, but as fate would have it, Angel had to go his way, and Tess had to experience everything that happened to her. For Tess, Angel is her true love, her friend, her lover, her knight in shining armor. And he certainly would have been if, once he knew about her past, he had not abandoned her. When he realizes what a huge mistake he has made, he comes back, but is it too late? To find the answer to that question, you must read this amazing book. I loved Tess from the beginning to the end. Not once did I question her actions or choices, because she was truly on her own, as her family, instead of protecting her, they took advantage of her ingenuity for their own profit. This book is divided into 7 phases, which could well be described as Tess's Via Crucis, and believe me, each of these phases is part of her personal Via Crucis. While reading this novel, I seriously wondered why it is highly acclaimed in certain literary or academic circles, but almost ignored by specialized critics and by ordinary people like us. Maybe it is the language Hardy uses, which is intricate, but at the same time he uses the Wessex dialect, which is strong and complex, and it might be difficult to understand for those who are not familiar with it. Or maybe it is that the situation Tess faces were as difficult and painful as they are now. What do I think? I am completely unaware of the reasons for this reluctance. But what I can tell is that if you give this book a chance, you will not regret it. Thank you for joining me to the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it all, and if you are interested in knowing more about this novel, I will soon be posting a video on YouTube where I go into more detail about it. So if you would like that, it will be available in a few days. As usual, I'll see you next week.